What's up, tricksters, and welcome to another episode of Raze to Immortal series, a series where I'm teaching you my best Radiant tips, tricks, and strategies for Raze. In the last episode, we've got a double rank up from Platinum 1 to Platinum 3, so let's see if we can maybe get a back-to-back double rank up. If you have any questions about Raze, feel free to ask me down in the comments, or you can join my Discord server for professional Valorant coaching. Also, all of these games are streamed live on my Twitch channel, so you can tune into my daily streams and get some useful tips for your ranked grind. Other than that, let's hop into our first game for today, baby. Now, this gaming session, we're starting on Bind in the second anti-eco round. On this map, Judge is one of the best half-buy weapons that you can use to win rounds on Defender's side. Especially if you're playing agents with movement abilities, you need to learn how to abuse this weapon for some easy kills. So in this round, I'm jiggle picking this corner to get information about enemies that are pushing the choke point, and I'm baiting them with my classic pistol. As soon as I hear enemies pushing through the choke point, I'm using my nade as a tool to separate enemies and to pressure them into a close-range gunfight.
Oh my goodness.
Be ready?
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Now, even though we won this round, this was a terrible mistake from the Autismo Charlatano. Your job in the second anti-eco round is not only to win that round, but it is to win it with the least amount of casualties possible. We want to save as many weapons as possible into the third bonus round in order to have the absolutely highest chances of winning it. And also, in the early stages of the game, you need to pay a close attention on proper economy management. Essentially, in the first 4 rounds of each half, you want to build a strong economy for the 5th, 6th, and 7th round as well. That is why hunting pointless kills in Valorant is absolutely stupid, and what I did here was mega stupid. Instead of rushing enemies alone, I should have just played with my teammates and secured this round without anyone dying in my team, because right now, I've just lost a Judge and Heavy Shield that I could have used in the 3rd round, instead of investing more credits. Remember, my friends, your economy and economy of your whole team is far more important than hunting for some pointless kills. If you don't have a strong economy for the next 2 or 3 rounds, make sure that you're closing out the rounds with a minimal amount of deaths. Now in this round, we're playing a 3v5 retake on A site, and whenever you have a long-range weapon such as Operator, the best idea on Bind is to go for a retake from Tower, and search for some long-range picks before you fall down onto the bomb site. When it comes to Raze ultimate, this ability has multiple purposes, but you can use it whenever you're retaking or executing bomb sites, and when you need to make a numbers advantage for your team, or maybe you need to lower down the enemy's advantage. The only time when I'm not going to use my ultimate to take some free kills, such as that one on Reyna, is when enemies are playing some kind of an eco round, or we already have a true numbers advantage. Just make sure that you're not saving this ultimate ability for way too long, while waiting for some perfect moment of time to use it, especially if you need to clutch the rounds or close them out.
Kill my ally.
Why did you make some noise, Raze?
Also remember, my friends, always, but always carry the shorty as your primary secondary weapon, especially when you're playing with Operator.
All planned, all
Last player standing.
Mastering this weapon can grant you a lot of free kills.
Satchel out.
No, he's...
Impressive wiring.
That's right.
Unlucky. I should have saved my nade for a revive, number 1. And number 2, I should have satcheled from the rafters and just killed the guy. Even though we got 4 kills in this round, our retake was mega slow, and that's why we lost it. When you're going for retakes, you really need to make a fast and precise game decisions, especially if you don't have a lot of time to defuse the spike. Learn, adapt, and we'll do better next time, charlatan. Now in the next round, enemies are pushing A set again, and we're doing a fast rotation from B. As soon as enemies tap the spike, I'm using this nade lineup in order to pressure them and to potentially stop them from planting the spike. Whenever you see an opportunity to support your teammates with your airstrike nades, just do it. The splatter of the nade is going to create a lot of chaos for the enemy team and is going to deny a lot of space, while your teammates might take some easy kills onto enemies that are running away like headless chickens. But unfortunately, enemies decided to rotate through teleporter, and that's why I'm using one of my satchels for a faster rotation in order to catch them while they're dropping down from the window.
Oh, nice. On side.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, nice.
Also remember, my friends, that most of the time it's very stupid to use your satchels for faster rotations, and you should use them for this purpose only if you're certain that this mechanic might allow you to have a better timing to either catch enemies off guard or to capitalize on some easy kills. Now, one really good benefit of playing Raze in ranked environment is your value in eco rounds. For an example, in this Halby round, I'm only playing with Shorty, Heavy Shield and Ultimate, which is a really strong loadout on attacker's side that can easily allow you to get a free kill and pick up the gun from the dead enemies. Essentially, whenever you have your ultimate and you're playing some kind of an eco round, you can use your ultimate as a primary weapon, especially if you notice that enemies love to play very aggressive at the choke points, like this Omen for an example. Even though in this round my teammates picked up the gun from enemy Omen, I still have a Shorty with myself, which is a very powerful weapon on claustrophobic maps such as Bind.
One is here, one is here, one is here. Three. All three.
Spike down A.
And voila! By only using the ultimate and Shorty, we managed to get 2 easy kills and to steal Vandal from the enemy team. That's why mastering a variety of weapons is very important for your Valorant grind, instead of forcing a stupid sheriff in every single eco or Halby round, which is a weapon that heavily relies on your raw mechanical skill, and sometimes only God knows where your bullets are going to end up in this game. Now back to this round, we ended up in a 2v2 scenario and we decided to play a bit slower, because we need to find out where are the remaining enemies. Please don't be in spawn. And this is why discipline is very important. You simply need to follow some very specific gameplay rules if you want to have the absolutely highest chances of winning your rounds and games. An average Valorant player would have committed to this 1v1 fight with Skye, but since we revealed that Skye is in the showers and Sage is backside, it is much smarter to go back and fight together with my Killjoy. But at the end of the day, positioning and mechanical skill are also very important. My Killjoy played in a really bad spot where I cannot refrag her if she picks up the fight with enemy Skye from the showers. Because of that, I had to force a 50-50 gunfight with Sage before Skye picks us from that angle.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
In this example, if my Killjoy played slightly more towards center of the bomb site, we would have been able to easily isolate some fights that work in our favor and to potentially close out this round. Just remember this very important tip: never feel pressured because of the timer. 25 seconds is plenty enough to kill 2 enemies or to retrieve the spike and plant it, especially if enemies and the spike are really close to your current location. In these type of scenarios, the only things that you want to think about are your positioning and how you can engage enemies with some kind of an advantage in order to fight easier gunfights.
Oh, go back. I wouldn't. Oh, what the
Flip.
Enemy down.
You can race him,
Here.
Yeah, but
On top of truck.
Let's go.
there was.
Now you know.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
No Rosa
Nice.
today!
Ooh, fine.
More like...
Just don't pick them now.
One is behind us, left side.
One enemy remaining.
Mine.
Oh, yo.
Now, if you also want to be blessed by the Valorant Elder Gods with some crazy RNG bullets, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, leave a like, and watch all of these videos from beginning to the end, if you don't want to miss some important information for your grind. Also, on my Discord server, you can access the Raze Ranked Playbook, which is gonna help you a lot when it comes to mastering this agent on every single map in Valorant. Now for the second match, we're moving on to Ascent, and we are starting on attacker's side. On Ascent, whenever you notice that enemies have only one sentinel or they don't have any of them, the best pattern of pushing in the first 4 rounds is to push A side together as 5 in the first 3 rounds, and then in the 4th round to fake A and go B. This is why you should also watch all of my live VOD reviews and free coaching videos where I fully explain the best patterns of pushing and general strategies on every single map for ranked environment. And when it comes to playing Raze in the first round on Ascent, I always buy Classic Pistol, 2 Satchels and Light Shield, because your main priority is to avoid taking any unnecessary gunfights in the main areas of the map, and you want to close the gap with enemies on bomb site while creating a space for your team. Most of the gunfights that you need to fight should be either close range or medium range gunfights. And when you're executing a set of Ascent, usually you want to drop your nade somewhere on the bomb site in order to clear some angles and deny some space from the enemy team. Reach these 2 positions with your satchels, wait for your team to push in, and then fight together with your teammates. Remember, my friends, when you're playing duelist agents, your job is not to kill all of the enemies alone. Your main job is to initiate the executes at the right moment of time, apply the pressure onto enemies, reach some kind of a safe positions on the bomb sites, where you can survive long enough while you're waiting for your teammates to move in, and then you want to strike together with your allies. Long story short, pay attention on the pathing of your executes. Don't rush in like a boosted gorilla. Check the minimap when you want to move in and pick a right timing. Ask your teammates to support you with their utility or if they're ready to execute. And always prioritize safety. You never want to be overexposed from enormous amount of different angles once you complete some execute. Essentially, the initial and ending positions of your executes are very important. Did 2 of my teammates died from the Gecko Molly there?
Yeah, Raze, that's chill. Go off, Evan. Go pick. Wait a bit, so I can.
1 enemy remaining.
Nice!
Oh my god. Well, one downside of Raze ultimate is that it can be extremely inconsistent from time to time, like everything else in this gambling game of Valorant. Sometimes I feel like I'm playing roulette and not a tactical FPS game, but when these things happen to you, brush them off and move forward, because some things are always going to be out of your control.
Do the same, do the exact same.
Yes, yes.
I
Yes.
found the go flash down,
Yes.
flashing down.
Your game is shit. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Now, whenever enemies are really close, remember to always pressure them with your utility.
Right side. Nice fight.
Once we were left in this 3v2 scenario, we knew that 2 enemies are somewhere on A site or in CT spawn, and that Killjoy is mid. In these situations, you always want to kill an enemy that is separated from the rest of their team as soon as possible.
One is here, one is deep.
After my Cypher dealt with Killjoy, we've decided to move into B site, so I'm using both of my satchels in order to safely enter the site and plant the spike. In this situation, my Cypher didn't really need to enter the bomb site with me or take any gunfights at all. He could have just chilled in B main and waited for me to get information about enemies, which also would have been great to create some kind of a crossfire setup. But Ascendant Gorillas only see blood in their eyes, so playing safe and smart is never an option. Thus we were left in a 1v2 clutch scenario. When you're playing 1v2, you cannot play passive and sell space to the enemy team. You really need to separate enemies into 1v1 gunfights before they even connect with each other.
1 enemy remaining.
Nice.
Also here, before I killed enemy jet, I wanted to reach this specific position. This is one of the best post-plan spots where you can play when you're alone on the B site, because you only need to focus on the push from stairs while you're fully hidden from the speedway. And if enemies are shifting or pushing from speedway, they will always make some kind of a sound when they're dropping down, and at that moment of time you can surprise them from this spot and take some easy kills. Remember, my friends, one of your main priorities in Valorant are proper positioning and safety. You never want to be overexposed from 2 or more angles that you don't see within your sight, or where enemies can kill you based on luck or timing.
One working beam.
One enemy remaining.
One. Help me.
Okay, done.
I helped you, brother. Body shot Berry today. That's the difference between you and me. Like, enemies are equal halbei. They have the classic
Yes,
pistols
okay.
and sheriffs. They don't have the armor.
I'm gonna.
If I just go for 2 body shots, they are dead. Now this round is the visual representation of play smart, not hard. You don't need to fight every fight in Valorant. You only want to fight the fights that you need to fight. Think about it for a second. After this kill on Gecko, yes, I can go for a risky repick to maybe take a kill on enemy Killjoy. But why should I take such risk in a 5v3 scenario? As long as we fight together on a refrag potential, we can easily win this round. But Reyna and the rest of my team kinda disagrees with this specific mentality.
Bro, where does this guy get it from?
30 seconds left.
I'm not losing this. I'm not losing this.
On A.
Enemy spotted A.
10 seconds left.
She doesn't have time. She doesn't have time.
Satchel out.
Last player standing.
No time.
Just remember, my friends, if you're not closing out the rounds and winning your games, the amount of kills that you get doesn't matter at all. Sometimes you need to play aggressive, sometimes you need to go for the plays, sometimes you need to take fights. But also, there's a lot of times in your gameplay where you need to stay alive, you need to play passive, you need to play smart and together with your team. Balance is very important in everything that you do.
Thrash isn't done with you!
Now in this last round, I had a bit of a brain fart when it comes to my utility usage. Since my Omen is detained by enemy Gecko, it seems logical that enemies will rush us to take this easy kill. Instead of spamming enemies with my nade and satchels, I should have just immediately pulled out my ultimate and make them perish, before they even get a chance to kill my Omen. But why would you simplify things when you can complicate them? Am I right, my dear gorillas? Ooh, double rank up? No! After that game on Ascent, we had a bit of a team deathmatch on Haven. My teammates were simply so good that I didn't need to do anything in order to win. It was just another El Clasico matchmaking balance. Some games you win easy, some games you lose easy. It's the nature of Valorant roulette, my friends. Now, after today's gaming session, we didn't get another double rank up, but after 14 matches, we're finally in Diamond 1 and we're slowly making our way towards Ascendant. I promise that the next episode of this series is going to be much more interesting, and there's still plenty of tips, tricks, and strategies that I need to teach you. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you, my dear tricksters, in the next episode.